Welcome. So today I want to take you through a few React hooks. I'll just introduce them to you. I will not be introducing all of them to you. You can check out the React documentation on your own. But most of them that I'll be talking about are the ones you all need in your day-to-day use or building of projects. So what are hooks? Hooks are basically hooks are basically functions that can use React hooks. That's the main difference. Regular functions can't use React hooks because React hooks can only be called inside of a React component or other hooks like so. So when you try to call React hooks inside of a regular function, you get an error. So you can't use things like useState, useEffect, and all of that. Now, what are some React hook you should use regularly? Anyway, I'll tell you about the ones I use regularly. So, um, let's navigate our way into where we get React hooks. So I had to go to reference and come down to hooks. So, like I said, I won't be talking about all of them. Sorry, I won't be talking about all of them. I'll just talk about the ones that I think you really find useful. You can check out the rest. Nothing is there. I just feel like these are the ones that you might find very useful in your day-to-day basis. Other ones are there. You can check them out. So the first one is the use callback. So use callbacks is used to catch functions, especially between renders. So that's just it to keep track of function calls between renders. So you can check out the documentation. Use context is used for managing states across the whole React application. However, it only takes effect only around the component that you wrap the particular context around. So if you want it to have effect on the all of the application, so you need to wrap the app component inside of it. So once you wrap the app component inside of it, you have access to it anywhere. So this is just it, something like this, and it has this provider function that helps you. You can check out the pitfalls. Each of them has one pitfall or the other. For example, this one says use context always looks for the closest provider above the component that calls it. It searches upward and does not consider providers in the component from which you are calling use context. So basically what you need to know is that if you have a use context inside of a component, just know that it's not going to take effect on that particular component where you have put it in. So this is just why you need to be putting it at the top level of your application. That's just it. So aside from that, if you know how to use this is very good for managing state. I feel, in my own opinion, this is better than React Redux. So anyone can choose what they want. This is what I choose. Now we have the use effect. Use effect is used to run code after a particular component has completely loaded. Note that it loads after and not before. So if you want certain functions not to run until the component or the page is completely loaded, use effect is the right hook to use. We have use ID. You can use use ID to generate random IDs. However, it's not good to use it for generating keys. If you're doing a list item, you need to give each of them keys. So you need to avoid using it for keys. And the reason is keys should not be changed um, between renders. When keys change between renders, it means that the idea of you having a virtual DOM will not work properly. Why we have a virtual DOM is so that the virtual DOM will compare with the actual DOM and then know what has changed in the actual DOM so that we don't replace it from what we have in the virtual DOM. Now, if everything has changed in the virtual DOM, then everything will have to change the actual DOM, which will not give the best user experience. So don't use it for IDs, all right? Now, after this, now we have the use layer effect hook, and this is highly discouraged except you really have to use it. In fact, this page starts with a pitfall. It can hurt performance. So always use effect, except you really need to use layout effect. Use layout effect runs before the page loads. So which means if your page is done loading and these things you need before has not finished loading, it might not work well. Or if your page needs to finish loading before whatever is coming from the use effect comes, you will not give the best experience to your your users. So you need to avoid it except you really have to use it. Now use memo. The use memo is used to cache calculation between renders. So if you want to keep track of your calculations, something, you store it between renders, use memo is the right thing to use. We have the use ref. The use ref is similar to use state, and we'll still come down. In fact, let's explain use state first. So we have use state first. Use state is basically a variable like you have in your normal JavaScript. However, it comes attached with a function that is used to update the variable. That's just it. So like here, this is how use state will always be. And so the state here is like your normal variable where you do your let or your const, your var, whatever. But the set state is like the function you use to update it. So any place you need to update it, you just do the set whatever that you put there. So for example, if you want to update age now, you do a set age and give it a new number like that. Good. So here we have the set name which updates the name. We have the set age which updates the age. So it's just like that. Now, like we said, this is just like a regular variable. Let's go back to useRef. Userefs are regular variable, but the difference is that it keeps its value even between re-renders. However, useState does not keep its values between re-renders. As soon as you reboot, you re-render, you have to restart or whatsoever, your useState goes back to the initial state. So if you want your initial state to always be there, you use the useRef. If not, you use the useState. That's just it. Then the last one I want to talk about is the use transition. Now this is used if you are going to be loading maybe data from the database. So the use transition is very cool because it helps to keep track of what's going on. So for example, we have the spending and the start transition, stuff like that. So as you just go about it, it updates, and then you can use it to update the user that, hey, this is what's going on at this moment, this is what's going on at that moment. You can choose to check out all of this on your own. I'll try to leave a link to the React hooks page so that you can check all of them. It's inside of the reference, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, the other thing is, how can you create your own hook? Why is it important that sometimes we might need to create our own hook? So like I said initially, regular functions can't use React hooks. But how about if you want to use React hooks? Say you want to use useState, you want to use useContext, you want to use useEffect. Now we have a way to do that. Now the first rule about creating your own personal hook is that you have to start it with a use suffix. So use whatever. So just as we have useEffect, useState, use ID, use transition, your own to have to start with use with a small letter, unlike regular components. All right. So let's go to our project here. So I already created a React project, so this is going to be very short. And then let's say use addition. So from the name, you can already infer what I want to use it for. So I want to use it for addition. So .jsx. All right. Like I said, this is a regular React component. However, it is like a regular function because it's not going to be rendering a component. So we just do a use addition. Now, instead of rendering a component here, you'll be rendering the result of whatsoever function you are writing here. So the function we want to write here, of course, is an addition function. So const, let's say result is equal to 2 plus 7, something like this, okay? Now, instead of returning a component, what we do here is return the result of our transaction here. So that's just it. So with this, you've created your own personal hook. All right. So let's call this inside of our app, the JSX. So I have the application already running here with a blank page. All right. So let's come on top here and then want to call it. Now remember that you always have to call the React hook at the top of your component. All right. So const, let's say output equal to. You also remember that this is your regular function. It's just like a regular function. The only difference is this is tailored to React and you can use React hooks inside. So let's import it. So we're importing it like we will import every other function. And you need to call the function. You see, if you notice all the hooks I showed you are always called like functions. So now that we have the output like so, we could just output it here. So we could just do a p tag and output whatsoever should be inside of there. So we should be expecting 2 plus 7 should be 9. So let's come here. We have a 9, so I can just zoom this in so that you see what's going on here. So I have a 9 here. All right, so let's go back here, and then we could do, we should be able to do calculation inside of this. So output plus 11 with the hopes that we get 20, and this is we get 20. But so far, you notice that we didn't use what's the name? We didn't use any hook inside of here. So let's use a hook here, all right? So let's use a hook. So we want to do the useState hook. So let's make sure we import it, and then let's enter what we want to enter. So what do we want to enter inside of here? Let's say age, and then we say the age is equal to 5, something like that. All right, and then after this we can now return whatsoever is inside of here. So we want to return the two things here, which is age. So let's make sure that's properly done. So we want to return age and then set age. All right, sorry, let's remove the results here. All right, so like I told you, we can use hooks inside of here, and we are using use hook, and it's not throwing any error to us. So let's go back. Let's go back here. This will no longer work the way we designed it initially. So what we now need to do is to target the things inside of here. So we have two objects here, or two keys here. So let's do object.age, like so, save it, and come back here. You see it's giving us 5, right? Now if we do out here and we do output dot set age, I'm not sure how this is going to work, but let's update it to 10, and then let's see. Now this doesn't work properly. I knew we probably will get an error here. So I think we should use a useEffect here. useEffects hook. Okay, and then let's do that's output. Sorry, outputs dot set age, and let's set it equal to 90. All right, and save. Now let's come back here. It gives us the 90. So definitely I was not supposed to call this outside of the useEffect. Remember what we said. useEffect call is executes a function after the page has finished loading. So what we were doing initially was we were trying to call the function before the page loads, and that would give us an error like we have already seen. But we get the point. This is how you are able to create your own personal hooks. So thank you very much for watching today's video. Please like this video so that more people will be able to see the video. Share it with your network. I appreciate that. Please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.